O'clock, and please stand for the pledge. Okay, your motion to accept the minutes of September 1st.
I so move.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. The motion to accept the financial report and payment of the bills.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. No budget amendments, Steve?
No, not tonight.
Okay, request for waiver of alcohol beverages. Mr. Michael McKinney.
This is a new one for me, guys.
Yeah, just bring the mic close to you and then.
Pretty much the letter speaks for itself. I purchased Four Corners. I've been approached by several organizations to have a bike night there. They've asked for quite a few concessions, of which I've said no. I don't want to have a DJ outside on a weeknight because they want to have them every Tuesday night. They were interested in having a bikini contest, which with alcohol and motorcycle people, I've told them no also. One of the things I've got them purchasing about $200 worth of trophies because they want to have a bike competition for 3 different categories, which sounds nice, but that means that they would spend most of their time in the back parking lot. We asked the liquor board if it was legal to, drink in the parking lot. They said, well, your liquor license carries for the entire property. I checked with the police, of which they checked with the town of Elkton, and of course, to me, there should be some local ordinance there because there's 2 main thoroughfares. And there would be public drinking. I wouldn't want somebody out with a bottle or a can or anything. So in lieu of things, we have purchased white styrofoam cups that are 16 ounce. We wanted to allow people to purchase draft beer inside so they can be carded and all of our sales go through the point of sale software correctly. But if they wanted to go out into the parking lot and stand next to their bike during the judging, or just meander around and look at the rest of the bikes before the judging, they could do so in such a way that they're not, offending anybody by, holding cans or bottles or, any type of exposed, alcohol. Been trying to think of the best way of, pulling that off, and after touching base with a few people who obviously are in the know more than I am in the town of Elkton, they told me that write a letter, explain yourself, and then I was asked by Michelle to show up and allow any questions to be answered. This would be we would like to be able to do it every Tuesday night when it's warm, between 6 and 9, at 9 o'clock. That's it, nothing else going on. We have individuals that are inside at 2 locations, making sure that, I don't want to say no trouble happens, but we don't have underage drinking if it becomes to the point where there's a lot of people filtering in through that one back door that we have going out on the patio section. We have also 2 people that can roam the parking lot to make sure that everything is going according to plan. We've talked with the organizations that want to participate in this. We've told them, we have to police the area. The next morning that place just can't be a disaster area. We don't want people burning out with their bikes and acting like, please forgive me, jackasses in the neighborhood. Because even though we are on a corner, we are close to that church, we are close to a residential section, and we don't want to offend anyone. But we have had a bike night on the 31st. We had about 20 guys show up. They stayed inside, no one drank in the parking lot, we had no issues. We've had no one call into the police to say that we were too loud, or that, you know, bikes were roaming through the neighborhood, or, you know, any bad kind of like B-movie scenarios that you might think, you know, with bikers. And not all the gentlemen that show up are part of organizations. They have Harleys, they have Kawasaki's, they have all kinds of motorcycles. In fact, we have a class there with just 4 metrics, you know, to give away some really nice trophies for. But we were asking the permission of the town of Elkton to be able to allow people to drink in the parking lot. The moment that anything would ever get out of hand on that, we've already announced to everyone, you know, I don't have any problem with anyone here or anyone that comes into our facility. The moment that you make it a problem, it all slams shut, because I will not have a place that had the reputation that it had before.
Well, how many bikers do you expect, or how many do you normally draw?
Well, the first time we had 20, we were looking at possibly as many as 60 altogether. As far as, you know, complying with noise ordinances, we've told everybody when you pull into the parking lot, it's no crazy revving of your bike. And I hate to sound self-righteous, but, you know, we are not, I don't want to say at Hilltop, we're not out in the countryside, we're in the town of Elkton. And there is a house that's very close to us that has young children. I would not want them to be exposed to anything that would be considered malicious. When it comes to language, when it comes to the volume, like I say, I don't want to have a DJ outside. I don't want to have a bikini contest outside. And I've been asked for quite a few things. I've told them I've already slammed the door right there. But we're trying to see if we can, you know, basically walk around with cups that are you can't see through, so that people can't see what you're drinking. So it really wouldn't be, you know, a public thing. I don't want to make it sound like brown bagging, but.
No, but this is, like you said, Tuesday nights, but will that still draw, is it gonna be like a bikers thing? I mean, drawing bikers to your establishment, or
Yes,
just,
but it's not, I just say that, the moment that it gets to the point where we feel as if we're providing something that is not desirable in that neighborhood, I'm the first one to shut it off. You know my wife Carol, she'll kick my butt, okay? I'm very proud to say that too, love her a lot, it was her birthday today. But I have been solicited to allow this to happen with a couple of organizations, and I told them as long as we keep an honorable, safe, quiet, you know, get together, and you guys are having fun, I don't care. The moment that it gets out of hand, I have a major issue. Before the police are called, I'll be the first person that's all over it. But we will be providing security. We will be providing cleanup. You know, we won't be a disgrace to Elkton by any means.
I was assuming in the letter that you wrote to us that you wanted to try this for the very first time. Gathering from what you're saying, you want to prolong this, if it's possible, as you said, in warm weather. Now, what period of time would that warm weather be? Is that summer weather, or what do you have specific in mind?
Might get us into November, but between November and March, we would be inside. Once it would start to warm up in the spring, they would want to have the same thing going on. So it would be a continuing, ongoing thing. But that's if it works well. If it doesn't work well, I'm the first one to, I don't want to say complain, but I'm the first one there that'll say that this is going to continue.
My other question to you being, why not occasional rather than on a persistent basis?
One, the money's really good at it. Hooters does it every Wednesday, but they're drawing several hundred bikers up in Newcastle. They do drink in the parking lot. They do have music in the parking lot. The Union Hotel does it every Saturday or Sunday. Hilltop does it. I forget the night that they do it. But the one night that it's not done in and around the area is Tuesday nights, and that's what they've asked me to try to provide for them.
And my last question is, how will you police it, and how would you determine that what you are seeking is not working?
I don't want to say that's a loaded question.
It's not a loaded
Yeah.
question. I mean, it's twofold. Number one, you said you will police it. Evidently, you must have people to do it, but you also said that you would continue doing this until it didn't work. So I'm saying, at what point it doesn't work?
If anybody breaks the rules that I've just set up for them, I don't want any burnouts. I really don't want, anything that I would consider to be excessive noise in that area. If I tell the guys outside, hey, one, we're too loud, or two, you're using language that is totally inappropriate, or fights. Right now, they've been in our facility several times, and everybody's having a happy, lovely time. Now, when you're outside, people who are with their bikes, we haven't done that yet, but we've been inside our facility. And when we were inside the facility, I had 4 guys dressed in our other shirts that say staff on them. And, I'm looking at a total of 5, basically walking and making sure that everything's, hunky-dory with cell phones that they can call quickly.
Thank you.
I have a couple of questions. You touched base with the church that was nearby. I know you're talking about policing the area, and you talked to the liquor board license. They told you that you can have, it will be permitted on your property. It can't stop you from, dispersing alcohol on your property. The key thing is the boundary lines. You talked about where the church is, how far, you don't know how far the bikers are going to park their bikes?
No, that would be exclusively on our property. It would not go down the street. But, every once in a while, there's some activity that's happening at the church down there.
Right.
Whether it be youth-oriented, whether it be fundraising, whether it's a service. I would never have anything that would conflict with that.
Well, the other question is, I know you compare that to Hooters, not the establishment, but as far as the event that they have. To me, I see it's a bike show, car show, no difference, but you're in the town limits. That's the only thing that I see difference with the Hooters, with the alcohol being dispersed on your property, but in a neighborhood. Have you had any conversation with your neighbors about what you plan on doing, number one?
No. I've knocked on the door to the people that are adjacent to our property twice. Young people were home, but the owners of the home weren't there. Before that takes place, I would...
I thought I turned this off, I'm sorry.
That's fine. I would definitely walk next door, say hi again, and want to talk to the adults that are inside, let them know what's going on, see if there were any concerns, anything I can help to dispel any thoughts that they have, or take suggestions from them to, guarantee that everything's going to be, definitely quiet by 9. We were also going to take all the cars that we have and park on the back of the parking lot. So there's a section of trees that's between us and that house. There would be a section of cars between us and that house with the bikers in it, as to put up some more of a buffer.
Okay. The other thing that kind of bothers me is I can't tell a person that riding a bike and drinking alcohol, 2 things that don't mix. I'm a biker, I ride a bike. I don't really indulge in drinking and riding a bike. I guess some people do it, drinking and riding a car, but that's their choice. But with you getting the okay from the police officers, I'm saying this the right way, I hope. Talking to the police about what you want to do is, what's to say that you're going to have people targeting bikers leaving, knowing that they've been drinking? I mean, this is something that you can't control and we can't control. So, if something is allowed, we don't want to be, we're the ones that caused this by letting it happen. These are issues that come by when somebody drank too much, someone told them